Okay, so I realized I hadn't made one of these for the most recent video that I did yet. So that's gonna be my video for today. So I didn't do this initially because I didn't think there was as much to break down as in my previous video. But we're gonna go through it a bit anyway. I have fucked with the intro a little bit here because I literally got the thumbnail by fucking with this and then pressing this save snapshot to file. So this literally is the thumbnail. Um, it's just literally built into the thing. Uh, I I animated this here. It took me, I don't know, a couple minutes. And then I animated something again later. It was this. It was the medic stepping up onto this thing. And then I immediately thought to myself, if I animate everything when I go to SFM, this is going to take me as long as the previous video, and that is just way too long. So I decided to do everything as these little short, like these little stills. And I think most of these actually look really good. So I think that was definitely the right call. The video still feels like it has a lot of personality, but it doesn't require me to like spend a shit ton of time animating every single thing that I want to have in the video, you know what I mean? Um my channel had more than 13K subs by the time this video came out. When I first recorded this was at 10 months. By the time it came out, this was at 1 year, and this was almost at 1 million views. So, oops. Um, I could have gone back and re-took picture, but then I would have to change this color. I would have to redo this shit in Photoshop. I would have to redo all of the cropping and panning, and I didn't even feel like if there is a way to transfer it from one image to another, I did not even feel like figuring out how to do it. So, whatever. Um this color is, I actually did make this blue after feedback from my Discord said that, it was too hard to read when they're both red. And I did that by just literally saving over the image file a second time. And then Vegas just handles that. It just puts the same image back in, but now it's the new image. So Vegas pretty good at that. It's actually really useful to be able to just, I did that multiple times. Like if an SFM render did not come out properly, I would just save over the original render with the new one, and then I wouldn't have to like do anything really. It would just automatically replace with the new one. Very easy to work with. I was very, very happy with that. Um this joke, my friend told me to cut this joke, but I needed a joke here. And so even though it doesn't make much sense, it's like, what am I gonna do? I really appreciate Vulpix doing the artwork for this. Vulpix is great. You should check out Vulpix on Twitter. Hang on, let me turn this back on. Talking about best guy ever. Good YouTuber, makes high quality content. A lot of the humor has been missing lately, but I don't know, his content just it resonates with me in a way that no other YouTuber does. So I might talk about that a bit at some point in the future. Who knows? Um, what is there even to talk about in this section? Hmm. I can't think of any like legitimately great decision, like legitimate interesting or unique decisions that I had in this, because a lot of it is just, here's a freeze frame of the medic's butt. A lot of it is just kind of following the script and then just visuals. I didn't really go out of my way to do anything ridiculously over the top in terms of editing. A lot of it is just kind of panning of images. So the visuals are actually kind of lame. This didn't take me too long. I would have had more of these if I had seen more reviews of Final Fantasy VI. Um, I definitely could have had more though, and I could have synced this better. Like the timing just all the other feels off. Oh yeah, it slows down. Vegas, because it's rendering it in real time to show it to you effectively. Like the preview, if you have the quality at best, which I do. Let's see. Even if I have it at auto, it doesn't. All the other people doing exactly the same thing on this website that anyone should bother paying attention to you. Yeah, like that's so weird. Like it should be. All the other people doing exactly the same thing on this website that anyone should bother paying attention to you. These are the kinds of things that snapping should be. Oh, you couldn't actually hear the snapping. Oh, whatever. I suck. Whatever. I don't know. They just should be. There should be a more consistent timing between them. I just fucked it up and I didn't. I was too lazy to actually fix it. Whatever. My ex-girlfriend, when I showed her this, because we still talk all the time, we were watching it, or we were just listening to it. She was like, it would have been nice to like say what the game was, and I was like, you know, I think that just letting the intro speak for itself is a good thing. And while yes, I'm sure many people are just going to listen and not watch, I would much rather, like, I don't want to sacrifice the effect that I was going for just because not everybody will experience it, you know what I mean? Like I think the effect that I had there was really good. So, yeah. By the way, I play a lot of Binding of Isaac. Fucking, where's the go offline? Oh, right, it's over here. They move. Yeah, actually, I don't even know if it was ever over there. God, that Explorer's script. I was rereading it, and I actually don't think a lot of it was that bad, but it's still, like, in terms of jokes, but it was still missing, like, the core appeal that you would need for a video like that. So I still would rather rewrite the script from nothing if I was ever going to do this again. If I was ever going to do that again, which I might still go through and make that video at some point. I really like that game, so I haven't played it much recently. I did go through a lot of anxiety about that video, and my MBM video, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I just arbitrarily picked a clip for this from my favorite video of Best Guy Ever's, his second part review of Gurren Lagann Part 2, which I actually think that this opening is way too long and drawn out for that video. I feel like most people who watch that video probably stop before that opening is done. So if you're watching Nate, you should have fixed that. That intro, like, it's a good joke, but it's really slow paced and it goes on too long. So you fucked up. I would not be surprised if most of your audience left before that intro was over. I mean, this, I just put a green screen in front of the whiteboard. It was actually really easy. And I didn't even, like, you can see it here, I put a green screen in front of it, but I didn't actually need to because, oh, right, I did that because I wanted the clip to stay on the bottom here. But I could have just put the clip above and then scaled it down. It would have worked just the same. This is another green screen. I was having a lot of fun with green screens during this section of the video. This, I just reused the same SFM, but this time there's a hand sticking out of it. Wow. I really do like a lot of these SFMs. I wish I knew how to use Photoshop better, because I wish that I could touch these up more. You know what I mean? Like, I wish that I could, like, just make them look better, because they look okay like this, but they could be so much better. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Oh, where am I? Yeah. This is really, these are channels that I really like, and this is really how I feel about writing scripts. I've been trying to inject a lot of more humor into my current script, no matter what's happening. I always want to have a joke coming, like, snappy. you know, because I feel like this video in particular, the jokes were really slow, if there were any, and there was barely any build up. It's because most of it was just kind of me talking about my experiences, and I lost a lot of that entertainment factor that comes with making snappy jokes. So I'm gonna try and keep that better in the future. Was there anything else in this section? So you may notice Family Guy death pose. I actually did not know that this is the Family Guy death pose. I actually stole it from Noodle, but you know, whatever. And then as I was doing it, I was like, "Oh, this is from Family Guy, isn't it?" Huh. But I also have part 2. Yeah, I'll save whatever changes I just made. It's probably fine. Part 2 is the second half. I split it into 2 halves because that previous one was beginning to lag a bit and I didn't want to keep adding on more things, and then the project was crashing a lot by the end. So instead, I have 2 halves, and then I rendered them, compressed them, and then rendered them again as one big thing. Because Sony Vegas, like, I don't know how to get it to render in a way that compresses the video and also doesn't look like shit. Like, I've tried settings for literally everything you can imagine, and the only way that I can get it to compress in a way that I like is to render it as the video window pops up. Video for Windows, and you'll see the file size for just this half is 174 gigabytes. So I do that for both halves. I compress both of them, and then I rendered both of the compressed things into the big video, and then I compress it again in Handbrake. I use a separate program called Handbrake for compressing stuff, because that is the only way that I found to keep the quality up. I'm shelving my dreams. This could have been done better. I could have made this blend in a little more, but I don't know. I was not trying to put too much effort into um anything with this video. But I feel like that kind of backfired on me a bit because I wasn't trying to put so much effort into it. I actually ended up taking just as long as the previous video because I was only working on it like every couple days, and I was only working on it for a couple minutes a day, so I would barely get anything done. And then eventually I just had to force myself to sit down and go, no, I'm finishing the video. I'm just gonna work on it until it's done. Ugh, it took me a lot longer than it needed to, and that's part of why I'm doing this thing this month, is because I really want to get myself into the habit of working every single day again. Like I don't want to be able to just give up and do something else. Like the video that I made for the second day, I made it in like 8 hours, but there were a lot of moments where I was like, oh, I don't know what to edit here. I guess I'll come back and do it tomorrow. Or I don't know what to write here. So I'll get over my writer's block tomorrow. But I can't do that if the video has to be done by the end of the day. So I just had to force myself to push through those roadblocks. And that's a really valuable experience to have because, I don't want to just give up whenever I encounter anything that's even remotely difficult, Um, God, a lot of people asked me how I got this effect on the Scout and the answer is that Source Filmmaker has a jitter preset, which just moves stuff in the random directions. It's really nice. Like in the most recent episode of Duel, the demo was like standing and his body was shaking as he was powering up. I just applied a little bit of the jitter preset. This is me applying the jitter preset to the maximum like 3 times on every single bone in the Scout's body, and he just kind of spazzes out like that. I did that for the heavy part in the MVM video too. So I like this thumbnail, honestly. It's good. Um, I don't think it's like great, but it's good enough. I think the thumbnail for this video could have been better. Not this thumbnail, the thumbnail for this video could have been a lot better, but I don't know what else I would have made it. So This face, it says right here in the corner, like I was just messing around with sliders in SFM trying to make the medic look like panicked, and I ended up with this, and I went, all right, this is too funny to look at for me to not use it. So that's the only reason that this is in the video. It doesn't fit at all. It looks really stupid, but that's kind of the point. The dual video, oh God, looking at this, it's like, okay. Not bad for a first project, honestly. These stills are once again pretty good. You can't tell, but these medics are actually mirrored. Like, this is literally the exact same pose as this model. I just spun it, but because it's not like, because he's not holding his arm out in a straight line, it doesn't look right. Like, they have to be at different poses, so whatever. It looks fine enough. This, I achieved this effect in this video by doing the brightness of the map in the camera up to the maximum, then back down. It's interesting. It's supposed to look like a lens flare. It doesn't, but whatever. Ooh, I do not want to move that. I wanted to reference Hbomberguy. I got the reference in there in a way that really fits. So, GG me. I pressed onwards. No point, no plot. Just make the video. I haven't talked with the two people in these clips. We have Azzy, Winter, and Cryo. I still talk with Winter all the time. Obviously, I'm dating Winter. Cryo, I still talk with every now and then, but I haven't really talked with Azzy effectively since we recorded this. So, oops. Wonder what you're up to, Azzy. Hope you're doing well. This thumbnail I thought was really funny, but it didn't really get many views, so whatever. Like, if I a lot of YouTubers are going to disagree with me on this. A lot of YouTubers will say that the quality of the video is what's important, and the title and the thumbnail don't really matter. They're stupid. That I think that there are three most important things in making a good video, or making a video that gets a lot of views. And they are the title, the thumbnail, and the first 10 seconds. Because you want your audience to stay for the first 10 seconds. But, like, the first 10 seconds needs to entice the viewer to stay for the rest of the video. You don't want them to just click on the video and then immediately click off because they're not interested. You need some kind of hook that really gets them in the first 10 seconds. And then the title and thumbnail, you can't hook people if they never click on the video in the first place. It does not matter how good the rest of the video is. If you cannot get them to click on the video, it doesn't matter. So you really need to focus on the immediate intro, the title, and the thumbnail. That's how you keep people around. Not every project needs to be major. This is such an important thing to learn. I'm learning it all over again this month. It's like I basically botched the second half of the third duel video, but in a way that it's barely animated, but it still looks like it's still funny, and that's kind of the point. Like, it's not supposed to be some hyper over animated thing. It still looks exactly the way you would kind of expect a video of that tone to look, so I could get away with the shittier animation that I wouldn't normally have gone with. But because I had to make it in a day, I just kind of, I didn't feel like really I could have animated it better. I didn't feel like it, so I animated it like shit and just made it funnier. So, good job, me. I found a way to cut a corner, which I think is the main thing, especially with this video. Like, so I think that I make very good use of having nothing on screen. Here, there's nothing but black screen and text. And here, and here, and here, and here. Basically, everywhere you see this checker pattern and nothing else, there is nothing on the screen but black and text. And you'll notice that's a decent chunk of what is on the timeline currently. But, like, I think that I make really good use of it by using it to emphasize things that I really want to get across, which is good, but at the same time, the main reason I did it was because I asked myself, can I get away with having nothing on the screen right now? Like, is that okay? And usually the answer was yes, but this effect effectively stemmed from me being lazy and not actually wanting to edit the video, which is my job. So, um, yeah. And then the ending, obviously I started up a Patreon. I've been doing bi-weekly updates on it. I actually forgot to do this week's update. Oops. I should do that right now, actually. I should do that right now. There's nothing to talk about here at the end. Goodbye. I'm gonna go do that.